my channel. My name is Katie. If you're new here, I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2. I have a little girl and a little boy, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm currently pregnant with baby number 3, due October 22nd. This week's pregnancy update is gonna cover weeks 27 and weeks 28. I turn 29 weeks tomorrow, and these 2 weeks have been kind of eventful, so I figured there'd be a full update for you guys if you're interested. So if you want to hear about the last 2 weeks of this pregnancy, then please keep watching. Okay, first things first, I'm extremely out of breath. Just for some reason, getting ready, getting myself dressed, getting the camera set up completely takes the wind away from me, and I can barely breathe. But that is, that is pregnancy. I'm in the 3rd trimester of this pregnancy. It's flying by so fast. We're now into August. So I am counting down as I have a full August, full September, and then October he can pretty much come whenever he wants. That's how I like to take it. So it seems like it's gonna be here a little bit quicker than it really is. But yeah, let's just get right into the update. So first things first, I took my gestational diabetes test last week. I took the test with the drink. I drank the lemon lime flavor. And here in Las Vegas, I guess my office is different here. I'm from New Jersey. That's where I had my other 2 babies. And I took the 1-hour test there and I passed both times. Here, they started me off with it being a 2-hour test. So I was a little bit confused at first, but honestly didn't really mind waiting the 2 hours. It went by pretty fast. So I had no problem drinking the drink. I didn't feel weird after it at all. I didn't feel lightheaded. I didn't really feel shaky. I definitely was starving beforehand and I wanted water really bad. But once I drank the drink, I felt okay. And they took my blood after 1 hour. Then they took it again after 2 hours, and I went home. And 2 days later, they called me and said that everything looked normal. So once they told me everything looked normal, I was still kind of curious at all my levels. So I went on my patient portal, I went on my patient portal app for Quest, and I looked at my levels, and a couple of them kind of alarmed me at first. I saw 2 things that were in the red. Everything else was green, meaning average or normal. But I saw 2 things that were in red, and I realized that my iron was slightly low in my blood. But then I found out that when you're pregnant, your iron's always a little bit lower anyway. So technically that was still normal for pregnancy, even though it was like a point below the green. So it was still in red, but it was right under where I should be. So the doctor hasn't said anything to me yet. They didn't tell me that I needed iron supplements or anything like that. Speaking of iron though, I do take prenatals that have iron in them, but I've been throwing out my prenatal vitamins. So that's been something really unpleasant the last couple weeks. It only happened twice so far, but I was a little bit nauseous today, and this happened last week too. And I took my prenatal vitamin purposely in the afternoon. It was like 1 o'clock when I took it, just so I wasn't taking it on an empty stomach, because the first time I did that, I threw up everywhere. It was awful. This time I wanted to make sure I had eaten something first and I wasn't feeling nauseous, and I took it. It was perfectly fine. Then I started eating, I think it was like a Nutri-Grain bar, and I was hanging out with my kids, and all of a sudden I felt really nauseous, and then I felt like I was gonna gag. And then I instantly just had to run to the bathroom, and I threw up, and it was like a lot of throwing up. And it was clear that I was throwing up like the whole vitamin. So I don't know if I'm gonna continue to take this vitamin. It's a 1 a day this time. I'm usually on a 3 a day. It breaks it up into 3 times. So that way it's easier on your stomach, and it breaks down differently. But those were getting pretty pricey, so I figured I would buy this 1 a day. This one was only like $15, and this is making me sick. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna stop taking this vitamin. Maybe I'll get like a gummy or something super easy on my stomach, or take a break from taking one at all. I don't want to not be on a vitamin, but I'm just gonna have to find a different one that doesn't make me so sick. Another thing this week has been exhaustion. I'm so tired again. I'm in a mommy group on Facebook, and we're all doing October, so we chat on there literally all day long. You can see everyone's interactions, everyone's chats. It's really nice. I really enjoy reading through them, commenting on them, and a lot of people have been saying that they're energy dropped again in the 3rd trimester. Normally by 2nd trimester, your energy's back up. Now in my 3rd trimester, I feel totally exhausted again. We've been sleeping not the greatest, so I'm still working on getting both of my kids to stay in their bed all night. It's been a task in itself, and I only have a couple months left until the baby comes, and I need them to be sleeping in their own bed. Hi. Hi. You wanna come say hi? Speaking of, here's Kai. Say hi. Hi. So yeah, some days my energy level's okay, and then other days like today, I'm literally so exhausted. I was so close to falling asleep and taking a nap. But then, oh thanks, I curled it. So yeah, my exhaustion has been real. Today I'm really tired. I really need a nap, to be honest. We slept awful last night. Plus, I am completely over this heat. The Vegas heat is killing me. We're outside for maybe an hour doing errands, or outside and inside, and I'm just pooped. I'm done. It's 105 plus every single day. Gets up to like 110. And being pregnant, you're already hot all the time anyway. So this heat is killer. Do you like the summer? I'm ready for fall. The next thing going on, I told you my gestational diabetes test came back normal. My sugar levels are okay, but I do feel like I have sugar drops throughout the day. I've never experienced this with my other 2 pregnancies, so it kind of freaked me out at first. Still kind of does. What I mean by this is I will be feeling okay in the morning, sometimes, depends, and I realize I start to get really shaky at one point of the day, and it definitely feels like I need to eat something. And for some reason in this pregnancy, my appetite is very small. I don't want to eat a lot all day. Sometimes if I want to pig out, it's maybe at nighttime, and that's it. And I'm not like one of those, this isn't one of those pregnancies where I'm just constantly wanting food. And it's actually really frustrating because I want to be eating more so I don't experience these sugar drops. A couple times I had this, I called up my mom or my husband, and I actually had to tell them, like, listen, you might need to come over. I said, you might need to come over or come by because I feel very shaky, and it's a scary feeling like you might be able to pass out when your kids are home with you. Such a stinker. That's something I'm gonna bring up to my doctor at my next appointment. I kind of mentioned it to my doctor at the last appointment, but she didn't seem concerned. She just said, make sure you're eating little bits constantly throughout the day. Make sure you always have a granola bar on you, a banana. But to be honest, like, first thing in the morning, I really don't want food. I want coffee, which is not always the best thing to have on an empty stomach. And I want like something later on in the day, but like by that point my sugar already feels like it's dropped. So I definitely have to keep an eye on that and do better with eating little bits between meals, because I don't like that feeling, and it also brings on anxiety for me, and it's not fun when you're home alone with 2 kids and you're responsible for these 2 little kids, and you feel very shaky and like out of it, and like you can't concentrate, and you feel like you could pass out. So that's an unpleasant part of this pregnancy that I'm not enjoying. Hopefully it'll get better soon and I'll do better with eating more. I'm having pretty bad acid reflux. I'm living on Tums still. I might try to switch to Zantac. I've never been on Zantac before, but I might try to switch to that. He's still moving around a ton. The doctor did tell me to start doing kick counts. You're supposed to start kick counts at 28 weeks. And I definitely feel him constantly. He still feels very low. I've been getting what they call lightning crotch, where you feel little zaps down there all the time because the way he's moving, you feel it really low down. I have no clue if he's head up or head down. I'm hoping by now he flipped and he's head down. The doctor said he doesn't really start checking that until 30-something weeks, and that's when they start to get concerned if he's gonna be breech or not. So praying that he will not be breech, because I've never had that issue before, and to have to worry about a C-section when you're planning for a natural birth is kind of scary. Speaking of the birth, I'm starting to get really nervous again about the delivery, which I wasn't even this nervous with my second, but I think since I had that natural birth and I was so happy with it and I got through it and I couldn't believe I actually did it because of how painful and hard it was, now I have that expectation set high for myself for this one. So I think I'm nervous that I'm not going to be able to reach that same expectation, and I really don't want to put too much pressure on myself, but I really am trying to convince myself to know that if I did it before, I can do it again. I'm gonna use some of the same techniques as I did last time. If you haven't seen, I made a video on my natural birth tips that I can link for you guys, and it's all about my natural birth experience and some tips that I have that I think really helped me be able to have that birth unmedicated. And everything went really well. It was hard, it was painful, but I'm praying that I have the same mindset going in this time again and I can do it again. I really like my doctor, so I think that helps a lot too. And I heard the hospital I'm delivering at has awesome nurses and doctors, and they're a great hospital. They have a great NICU, so that puts my mind at ease a little bit. We are going to be doing our 4D ultrasound very soon. I'm so excited to schedule that finally. I'm not sure exactly what day I'm going to be doing it, but I heard 28 weeks to 32-ish weeks is the perfect time to do it because you can see their face the best and they're not too squished yet like they will be at the very end. So this will be my first 4D ultrasound out of my 3 pregnancies, and I can't wait to see his little face. I'm sure he looks just like my other 2 and adorable, so that's going to make it seem even more real that he's a baby now and he's getting so much bigger and he's almost here. One thing I forgot to add is weight gain. I don't remember what my last update, what I said I was, but I'm 137 now. So just at the doctor the other day and they said I was 137. So I don't think I gained much of anything in the past couple weeks since I went last, but it's only been 2 weeks since my appointment. I start going every 2 weeks now, but I feel like my belly is definitely growing a lot. You're silly. Does anyone else let their daughters or children in their updates? Because I can't keep this girl away. She's gonna be a future vlogger. Okay, now for the belly shot. I'm wearing a crop top, which is not pregnant appropriate, but I'm just wearing it for the top part for the filming. So my belly is gonna obviously be out with these jeans. This is not something I'd wear outside of the house, obviously, but you'll definitely be able to see my belly shape. So this is the front.